Things elude our attention. Stories are yet to be discovered. Truths are rarely obscured. You are introduced to the secret of
The lottery, a game of chance, or is it Stefan Mandel, a name whispered in hushed tones by both hopeful gamblers and skeptical mathematicians? This is the story of the man who dared to challenge the very notion of luck. Mandel didn't just play the lottery, he conquered it. He devised a system so audacious, so meticulous, it would rewrite the rules of the game. He turned the lottery from a gamble into a science. His journey would take him from the depths of economic hardship to the pinnacle of financial success, leaving a trail of baffled lottery officials and envious onlookers in his wake. This is the untold story of Stefan Mandel, the man who made millions by predicting the unpredictable. Stefan Mandel's journey began in 1950s Romania. The country was in the grip of communist rule, and economic hardship was a way of life. Mandel, a bright young economist, found himself yearning for a better life, a life free from financial constraints. The lottery, with its promise of instant riches, provided a glimmer of hope. But Mandel wasn't content with simply buying a ticket and praying for a miracle. He possessed a sharp analytical mind, a mind that refused to accept chance as the sole arbiter of fate. Mandel saw patterns where others saw randomness. He believed that with enough analysis the lottery could be understood, even predicted. This belief, fueled by necessity and nurtured by intellect, led him to develop a system, a set of principles that would guide him to unimaginable wealth. Little did he know this system wouldn't just change his life, it would disrupt an entire industry. Mandel's system was rooted in mathematics. He understood that while predicting the winning numbers of any given lottery draw was practically impossible, exploiting the probabilities of the game was not. He focused on lotteries where the jackpot prize exceeded the total cost of purchasing every possible number combination. This might sound counterintuitive, but for Mandel, it was the key. He realized that by buying every combination, he could guarantee a win. More than that, he could turn the lottery into a guaranteed investment, albeit one with logistical hurdles to overcome. His system wasn't about luck. It was about reducing the odds to zero. It was about transforming the lottery from a game of chance into a calculated certainty. Mandel's system, though complex in execution, was deceptively simple in its core concept. It consisted of 6 meticulously planned steps. First, he would calculate the total number of possible combinations in a lottery. Then, he would identify lotteries where the jackpot was at least 3 times larger than the cost of buying all the combinations. The third step was crucial, raising enough capital to fund the massive ticket purchase. Mandel achieved this by forming investment syndicates, pooling money from individuals eager to share in his audacious plan. With the funds secured, the fourth step involved the Herculean task of printing millions of tickets, each bearing a unique number combination. This required an army of helpers and a carefully orchestrated logistical operation. The fifth step involved distributing these tickets to authorized lottery retailers for purchase. Finally, once the draw took place, the winning ticket would be identified and the syndicate would claim its prize. These 6 steps, meticulously executed time and again, would turn Mandel into a lottery legend. Section 5. The Virginia Heist. Mandel's most daring and lucrative win came in 1992 when he set his sights on the Virginia lottery. The jackpot, a cool $27 million. The catch? Over 7 million possible number combinations. Undeterred, Mandel put his plan into action. He established the International Lotto Fund, or ILF, to raise the necessary capital and mobilized a network of investors eager to defy the odds. For months, Mandel and his team worked tirelessly, printing millions of tickets and shipping them to Virginia. The sheer volume of tickets purchased was staggering, overwhelming lottery retailers and capturing the attention of authorities. On February 15, 1992, the numbers were drawn. The result? Mandel's syndicate had done it again. They held the winning ticket, turning their calculated risk into a $27 million windfall. The Virginia lottery, and indeed the world, watched in stunned disbelief. The Virginia Lottery wasn't a one-hit wonder. It was the culmination of years of meticulous planning and daring execution. In total, Mandel and his syndicates successfully won 14 lotteries across the globe. His wins spanned continents, from his native Romania to Australia and beyond. Each win further cemented his reputation as the man who cracked the lottery code, the man who turned chance into a calculated certainty. Mandel's system, while controversial, was undeniably effective. It exposed a vulnerability in the way lotteries were structured, a vulnerability he ruthlessly exploited to amass his fortune. But his victories would ultimately sow the seeds of his system's demise. Mandel's repeated successes attracted the attention of not just envious gamblers, but also authorities worldwide. Lottery officials, initially dismissive, began to recognize the threat his system posed to their games. Investigations were launched, with agencies like the CIA and FBI scrutinizing Mandel's methods. However, despite intense scrutiny, no evidence of wrongdoing was ever found. Mandel had exploited a loophole, not broken a law, yet his victories had spurred a response. Lottery regulations were swiftly rewritten, closing the loophole that had made Mandel's system possible. Bulk buying of tickets was restricted and the use of home-printed tickets was outlawed. The era of the lottery syndicate had come to an end, but not before Mandel had left an indelible mark on the industry. With his lottery days behind him, Stefan Mandel retreated from the public eye. He is believed to be living a quiet life on a remote island off the coast of Australia, his fortune secure, his legacy assured. Mandel's story is a testament to the power of ingenuity and a reminder that even in games of chance, strategy can tip the scales. He is a modern-day Robin Hood, outsmarting a system designed to generate revenue rather than produce winners. His story continues to fascinate, a tale whispered in gambling circles and debated in mathematics classrooms. He is a legend, a phantom who vanished from the scene as quickly as he had arrived, leaving behind a trail of bewildered mathematicians and reformed lottery regulations. Despite his retirement, Mandel remains an enigma. He has never publicly revealed the full details of his algorithm, comparing it to the fiercely guarded recipe of Coca-Cola. Some speculate that the algorithm itself was relatively simple, relying on brute force probability rather than complex mathematical formulas. Others believe it held a level of sophistication yet to be fully grasped. Regardless of its complexity, Mandel's system succeeded where countless others had failed. It exposed the inherent vulnerabilities of a system that relied on chance, proving that with enough ingenuity, even the seemingly random could be tamed. And so the legend of Stefan Mandel lives on, a cautionary tale for lottery organizers and an inspiration for anyone who dares to dream of beating the odds.